Hi there, this is Jennifer with Brome Fields, and today I'm going to be starting a new video series on casting on. There's lots of different ways to cast on stitches, and I just wanted to kind of go back to some of the basics for me because I have to be honest, I usually cast on using one method, and then whenever I did the 100 days of knit stitches, I started using a second method and decided, I need to expand my knowledge and start trying different methods because they all have their place and uses, and I can always be better in my knitting. So today I'm going to show you my favorite way to cast on. It is just my go-to, and it has a couple different names. I call it the Longtail cast on method, but it's also called a double cast on, and I will show you why whenever we're done. Now, the tricky part with this cast on is that you need to know how long of a tail that you need. So if you have a cast on that has 10 stitches, not a big deal. If you have a cast on that has 240 stitches, that's going to be a hard one to measure out, because when you get to stitch 222 and you realize that you don't have enough yarn to do the next 20 stitches or 18 stitches, then it's frustrating starting all over again. So then if you have that many stitches, you may want to choose a different cast on method than the Longtail cast on method. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm just going to do 10 stitches. I want to keep these kind of short and sweet. In the beginning of knitting, you will want to create a slip knot so you don't lose that first stitch. Whenever you become more comfortable, you don't have to do a slip knot, and I will show you the slip knot first so that anyone can do this. So I have my tail on the left side, and then my ball of yarn on the right, and I put my finger in between and I grab it. So I have my thumb and my index finger in between. I grab this and I twist it around my index finger, and I'm twisting it to the left so that that left yarn is on top of the right, and then I put my thumb inside that hole and I grab the right hand yarn, which is on the bottom, and I pull it through, and that creates a loop. So I'll show you again. Wrap it around my finger, put my thumb in, grab the yarn, and pull. And that's what the slip knot looks like. So then you'll put your needle in and you pull it to where your needle slides nice and loosely. So from there, you will want to go ahead and start the Longtail cast on method. But now I'm going to show you without using the slip knot. I put my needle on top and I bring my yarn around it. So that's my first loop. And I'm still holding my yarn the same way. So I have my tail on the left over my thumb and my ball over my index finger. And I grab both of them with my pinky and ring finger. So that's how you want to hold the yarn. You put your needle on top and you go under and twist. So needle on top and twist. You don't really want to hold it that tight. So you want to be able to just slide it. So not too tight, not too loose. So holding your index finger on that knot. So whether you have a slip knot or just a twist, you want to hold it with your index finger. You're going to go under the left thumb, over to the index finger, and then you're going to pull that through, and that's your loop. And then I use my thumb to kind of tie it off. But again, you want them to be ideally the same tension. So under, over, and through the loop, and pull. Under, over, through the loop, and pull. Under, over, through the loop, and pull. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's our 10 stitches. So at the beginning I said this is called a double cast on, and that is because on this front side you have nice knit stitches, and on the back side you have purl stitches. So if your first row of knitting is a wrong side row, this is a good stitch to start with. So because then you have your purl stitches and you have your knit stitches. Now if it's not a wrong side row, then you may want to use a backward loop or add a row of like knit 1, purl 1, or just the opposite pattern. That might be a little more complicated. So it's better just to, in the beginning, just start with something that you're familiar with and go with it. And then one day you'll realize, oh, I could do this and make it even better. So you can always improve on your knitting. So this is the long tail. So I still have this tail remaining. And you want to be sure not to knit with your tail. That is to weave in later. So you want to knit with the yarn on your ball. And I'll go ahead and show you the first row. And we're going to purl the first row because these are purl stitches. So we're going to purl. Oops. I don't normally knit with double pointed needles or wood needles at that. These are bamboo. So they're a little, it makes my stitches a little tighter than knitting with my metal needles. So see here how I'm creating the bars and they match. So that's all purl stitches. And now I will do a row just to show you of knit stitches in the front. So see how that created a nice cast on edge for our knit stitches on the front. This is the front side of your work. So we're going to do all knit stitches. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a swatch, a small swatch with this. So at the end of the series, I can kind of compare and contrast the different types of cast on edges. So I can see what purposes maybe each one would be good for. I think this is a nice, even cast on. It really is one of my favorites. I think it's very nice. So tomorrow I will have another cast on method. And so I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching.